Ozarks Live. I'm Cammie.
And I'm Blake. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so here's the thing. A few things I want to bring up today, but the first is, I was telling you about this in the office today. So there's this show on Netflix called The Ultimatum.
Get ready. This show is going to blow your mind.
It's bizarre. It's in its second season. The reason I bring it up now is the episode's just released, like, I don't know, last week or so. So the
I've
premise,
never heard of it, but
the premise is like simple yet complex. So it's hosted by Nick and Vanessa Lachey, and it follows, I don't know, anywhere from 4 to 5 couples, where one half of the couple is like very eager, very ready to get married. The other half is like very unsure of what they're kind of wanting, whether that be in life, in the relationship, or whatever that may look like for them. So they go on this show, The Ultimatum, and one person in the relationship is giving the other the ultimatum, right?
Yeah.
And so once they arrive to the experiment, is what we'll call it, they get like one final night together, and then they go through a whole week where they date men or women of the, you know, opposing whatever side you're on in the relationship, from the other couples. And by the end of the week, you decide like a new kind of trial boyfriend, husband, wife, girlfriend, however you want to look at that, right?
This is totally natural.
You do that for 3 weeks to see, like, I think the goal is more or less to see, like, okay, is the person that I came here with really the person I'm meant to be with? Or, like, can I see myself happier with someone else? And if that's the case, maybe this isn't the right situation.
The only truth factor in that is that, yes, sometimes we can't see beyond the relationship we're in.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm on board with so far.
Yeah. And so then, after the 3 weeks that they trial with this new person they just met, then they go back to their original partner.
When you say trial, they're, like, living the husband
completely living together. Like, kind of intertwining their lives. They actually meet the other person's parents. It's, like, very serious, I guess. But anyway, so then after that 3 weeks is up, they do the next 3 weeks back with the original partner. And this is where they're like really, again, just like kind of giving it another effort. And I think some of it is like, after spending time with someone else, let's like see what we can apply now that maybe we learned in those 3 weeks. And then by the end of the show, so after about like, I think it's like 7 to 8 week experiment, they make a decision. Will they maybe take it further? Will they get married? Or will they make some big like future like decision? Or will they move on? Or will they maybe try a relationship out with the person that they trialed with for 3 weeks? It's an insane idea, but here's the thing.
Married for 3 weeks.
It's really fascinating, and like, I don't know, I can't ever imagine putting myself through that, probably mostly because I'm so close to marriage and I know what I want, but like, even still, if I wasn't, it's kind of a bizarre idea, but it's very interesting to watch play out on TV, for sure.
It is very interesting. There's so many things wrong with it, but at the same time, there's that little bitty principle in there that I'm like, yeah, okay, but I still, no thanks.
Well, and we can all learn, like, you know,
it's gonna be drama.
Yes.
It's gonna be all things reality show that everybody
absolutely
wants.
And in a positive way. I mean, we can always learn something from someone else, right? So I do think there's like a couple good takeaways from that trial part. But anyway, The Ultimatum on Netflix, out now if you choose to watch. So, okay, another thing I want to bring up. So as we know, the writer's strike has been in effect since May 2nd and the actor's strike since July 14th.
That's been a while.
Yeah, and you know, one of the big like kind of hits of this is a lot of our shows or award shows that we like have been off the air. They've just been airing reruns. And so one of the biggest ones has been all the late night shows. So the 5 guys that do late night came together and are starting this brand new podcast that launched today called The Strike Force 5. So it features Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, and John Oliver. And basically the 5 guys just come on this podcast. I think it's like, I don't know if it's per day or per week or how that's working. But coming together, just talk about like random things that's going on right now with the strike and their lives.
This is so brilliant for so many reasons. First of all, because we all miss them, right? And it gives them something to do. And I'm sure they'll be more creative at this point. But the proceeds from that is what's fascinating.
The proceeds that they're getting from this podcast, because it's sponsored by Mint Mobile and Casamigos Tequila. So of course, you know, there's money behind it. But the proceeds that come from this podcast are going back to their staffs that they have on each of their individual shows to kind of help with those costs, because all these people are on strike right now, obviously.
So like they're solving the problem in 2 different ways. They're still putting out good content, and they're helping the reason why they're not working.
Which is really cool. And I haven't finished the whole first episode, but I listened to a little bit this morning on my drive in. And what's neat is in the first 10 minutes they acknowledge fully that, hey, you know, like our shows are not possible without these writers and researchers and all these amazing people behind us.
They're not as brilliant as they look.
Exactly. And so they're like, we acknowledge that, and we hope that by listening to this podcast, even they mentioned, they're like, we hope that you can see that by like some of the things we say, that we are not, all that we can be without our teams behind us and the assistance that we get. So it's a really interesting idea, but it's funny because then kind of on this podcast, they just have very like kind of menial conversations. So like the first big topic they brought up was like, back to school season, right? So discussing dropping their kids off at school, and some got kids that just went to college, some have kids that just went to kindergarten, and so they kind of like talk about that. It's just interesting.
Does it sound like they're just kind of going making it up as they go, or do you think does it look like they have a plan? Does it feel planned out, or does it just feel very random and thrown together?
I think a little bit both. I feel like there's like maybe an outline to it, but it's very, very casual, like just super casual conversation, not very like strict or formatted as their, late night shows.
Which I appreciate that, because maybe you're actually seeing more of their personality instead of how someone else is making it funny.
And I love it, because I was actually thinking last night, one of my favorite ways to go to bed prior to the strike was watching like Stephen Colbert, right? And so now that it's reruns, but it's not the same. You've already seen him,
Yeah, so, Christmas in July.
Yeah, so having this podcast fills that void. So The Strike Force 5 on Spotify. So.
I love it. Thanks, Blake.